Yo, good morning, traders, and welcome back to another episode of Market in the Morning. Today, we have PPI in about 8 minutes coming out, so it's going to give us some insight. Hopefully, it's above or below expectations, so we could expect some volatility. If it does fall within that forecast, then we might see a bit more of a range, but we'll probably see more of a sell-off as well. Guys, good morning. Run a good morning in the chat if you're ready to make some money today, guys, because Market in the Morning starts right now. All right. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. What's up, Ozzy, Ted, Anonymous, Ion? Good morning, Eric, Silver, man, Silver, Spurs and 7. Get out of town. Alan, good morning. Matt, what's going on, brother? How are you? Famous, what's going on? Hello. Good morning, everybody. Hope you're all doing good today. Hope you guys have been enjoying your week. It is Thursday, June 11th. Let's dive into some charts and break down what's going on, guys. Hey, good morning, Tazzy, Alan. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. Let me move some things over real quick. Whoosh, right over there. Perfect, guys. Let's get the ball rolling. Good morning, Zero. Guys, big chat in here, guys. Love to see it. Drop some good mornings, drop some hellos, and let me know what you're trading today. Right now, as we're speaking, we're getting headlines on Trump and Iran. United States will be hitting Iran very hard tonight. Look at that, guys. We just started Market in the Morning, and what do we get right off the bat? We get a big headline that's going to help markets move lower, and we could see the reaction right away. Ready? Let's take a look at our ES and NQ chart. Look at this, guys. That headline came out, boom, 30-point drop on the S&P 500. Let's recap yesterday, guys. Yesterday, we were looking for a sweep of those highs. I'm sure you guys remember. Sweep of those highs. What did we get? A sweep of the high, and we reversed back lower. I mentioned how we wrapped up Market in the Morning around 10:30, and I was right over here. And I left you guys off with saying if we can break back and close back below data high, we would look to a short position targeting that data low. And that's exactly what ended up playing out. I hope you guys were able to take that trade. Yeah, what a day to start with Trump, bro. Absolutely. Hopefully we get some more volatility and follow through. Let's break down some of the fundamentals and see what's driving markets right now. Obviously, these are the main headlines as they come out as we speak, but there's still a lot more than just the surface, right? It's a lot more than just the headlines. So, escalating Iran-U.S. confrontation and Hormuz shutdown pressures S&P futures ahead of PPI. As we mentioned, guys, Ozzy, good morning. Sid, good morning. We have PPI in just a few minutes. Let's head over to our economic calendar. Yesterday, we had CPI that was higher than prior, but it was still within range, and it was right on forecast. And yet, what happened, guys, during the day on the intraday scale? Well, we have a bit of a move higher, and then price rejected and reversed back on lower, like the trend we have been seeing. My opinion, guys, I do believe markets are back more on a bearish route right now, and I'm talking about the S&P and NASDAQ. Gold has already been bearish. Gold did, however, break back below that 20% from all-time highs, which does officially put gold in more of a literal bear market, right? 20% off of all-time highs for things like gold, S&P, and NASDAQ considers it into a bear market. So PPI, manufacturing, we have PPI demand. We have all of our PPIs coming out. PPI final demand year over year is the one we'll be looking at. Prior is the one that came out at 6%. Now, they're giving it a pretty wide range, 6% to 6.6%. Forecast is 6.4%. Question becomes, where do we fall in this PPI? Yeah, dude, crazy headlines right now. PPI, and we could see if we're above expectations. Look at that. We're going to be very bearish. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. Let's hit our news feed now and go through some of these crazy headlines that we're getting right off the gate. Nicholas, you already know, man. Some crazy headlines. Dollar to the moon. We'll check it out. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Hello, Sadhu. Good morning. Trump says U.S. to target oil infrastructure. Okay, let's check on oil, man. Oil off of that headline alone. Watch it. Bang. Oil's probably going to see some follow through. We know that oil is one of the most moved assets in terms of these headlines that come out. So I'd really only be interested in longs at this point if I was looking at something like oil due to the big headlines coming out about the U.S. attacking Iran again and things starting to pick back up, especially this more recent headline that came out just now Trump says the US to target oil infrastructure. We could hit our brain icon here, and it's going to summarize it for us. The headline is bullish for oil and generally risk off for broader markets because targeting oil infrastructure raises the odds of supply disruption. Hey, good morning, Samuel. What's going on? Higher crude prices and renewed inflation pressure. Remember, guys, this all circles back. Everything is a full circle moment. If there's higher oil prices for longer, we're going to get higher inflation. PPI comes out today. It's probably going to be higher than that 6%. Yo, good morning, Mr. Random. Guys, hope you're ready for a great day today. And what's cool too with market is it gives you the assets that it's looking to impact. And you can click on it and it will say this asset may be bullish impacted by the high impact headline. What else? US to take Karg Island. Direct presidential threat to seize Iran's main oil export hub implies massive war escalation. Guys, massive war escalation. So, a little announcement on the guest, ladies and gentlemen. I do apologize. Now, Thursdays, we usually bring Jeev on, but unfortunately, Jeev woke up this morning not feeling well. So make sure you run that like button up, show him some love, send him some love so he feels better soon. But we will still be running market in the morning. Per usual, guys, we'll break down some markets, we'll break down some levels, and when New York session opens, we'll find some trade setups to take as well. Now, what's cool too is we could check our high impact tab. That also will sort of filter out those breaking news headlines from the overnight, so we don't have to go through all of them to find those massive high impact. While it is important, though, that we do keep an eye on breaking news, especially seeing how these headlines were coming out right now. Now, we all know about the whole distraction theory, right? My thoughts leading into PPI right now is that Trump's coming out with all these massive headlines, and then PPI is going to soar through expectations. Why? Bit of a distraction theory. Distracting us with all these big headlines so we don't focus on the fact that PPI is way higher than expected. We have about just a minute or two. What do we got? 54 seconds before PPI, ladies and gentlemen. PB sells around 4101 on XAU USD. Awesome, brother. Let's get it. Good morning, Dina. Good morning. 40 seconds left on PPI. We will see how that comes out. We also have initial jobless claims, which isn't the biggest of reports, but we can watch to see the minimum and maximum, see how it falls within that range. Same situation as most of the other reports we get, ladies and gentlemen. If it's above expectations, expect volatility. Below expectations, or I should say minimum and maximum range, expect volatility. If it falls within this minimum and maximum, then we're not going to be pricing in initial jobless claims. PPI, on the other hand, let's see, guys. Let me know higher or lower. Where are we going? 7 seconds left here. 5, 4, 3. Let's see. I'm thinking at least 6.4, maybe 6.8 would be wild. 6.5, so higher than forecast, still within range, but still a bearish sentiment for the S&P and NASDAQ. Let's take a quick look back here at our oil is pushing higher. S&P and NASDAQ, of course, moving lower off of that news. Now, if you are looking to take any trades on the S&P, we are at the VIX right now. So if we do start breaking lower, yeah, high 100%. That's what I'm thinking, guys. 100, and that's exactly how it came out. We knew it was going to be higher. There was nothing that geopolitically and fundamentally changed, right? There was really no end to the war. There was no end to anything. Things were escalating. So yeah, we're just going to keep on going, guys. Just going to keep on going from there. Initial jobless claims, 229,000. That is above forecast. It's still within the range, so I'm not too interested on this. Let's see. Let's break down those headlines again, guys. Very important that we understand how these headlines came out and how it impacts the market. We know that the more escalations that come out, the more it's going to impact the market to the downside. So Trump says U.S. to hit Iran hard tonight. Direct presidential war escalation against Iran threatens oil flows, risk assets, and volatility immediately. Yeah, man. I know. That's what I'm saying, guys. And guys, what's really cool with market is you can hit this brain icon right here and it saves it to your clipboard. What that means is you could go over to your Twitter, your Instagram, your Facebook, whatever social media you have, and just hit Control V, which is paste, or you could right click on your mouse and hit paste, and you could share it with your friends, right? It's important that we stay up to date on the headlines, but it's also important to keep our friends and neighborhood traders up to date on the headlines too. A lot of people who don't use market don't have that edge. They don't see these headlines. If we weren't using market right now, we would have to be Googling news headlines that came out right now. And guess what? Probably not going to be too accurate. Trump says US to hit Iran very hard tonight, threatens to take Karg Island. Trump and Iran at some point in a not too distant future, we will be taking Karg Island and other oil infrastructure points and assume total control of their oil and gas markets. Guys, we always circle back to it. Does this sound like the end of a war? Does this really sound like we're holding a ceasefire? No, no, and no. Things are still escalating. Things are, if anything, getting worse at this point. Garrett, good morning. Mindful Trader, good morning. Now, let's see. Trump on Iran. United States will be hitting hard very tonight. Again, another headline about we're hitting Iran very hard tonight. We saw PPI came in higher than anticipated, higher than forecast, still within that range, though. Let's see. What else we got? Iranian attacks on Kuwait have not caused any casualties, but led to limited materials damage. Kuwait has engaged with 24 hostile drones in the past 48 hours. Kuwait declares air defense neutralized 24 drones over past 48 hours. UK Defense Ministry Healy quits. Says PM Starmer's plans fail to keep country safe. Iran's defense ministry urges regional ceasefire, citing aggression and insecurity amid warmongering. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. It says hostile actions across all fronts must cease. So, guys, the headlines, we know them already. Yeah, these are some strong negative headlines. It's going to help us continue trend here, right? Look at that. S&P on the continuation. Take a look at gold. I know a lot of gold traders in here. Guys, yesterday market in the morning, we left you guys off with this short position on gold. I know the homie Jack killed it. Jack's one of our people here over at Market. He posted, you guys could follow us at marketai.insights on Instagram. He posted a trade recap. Yes, sir. All we do is win up in here, man. And when we don't win, we risk carefully. It's all about proper risk management, guys. So what are we looking for today on gold? Quickly break it down and see what's going on. Delete any old levels. Now, I'm not seeing too much here. I see a little bit of a resistance point that price was rejecting right over here. We're going to mark that out as our supply. This is where sellers were active last in the market. We know this based off of the charts because we see that sellers stepped in here and sent gold down 89 points. Price tried to move back into it again. It moved gold down another 50 to 60 points. So I would look to see, can we sweep that recent high from the overnight session, sweep into this zone, and find sellers again near 41.40. It's going to be the same area on XAU USD over here, near 41.12 to 41.20. So looking for shorts on gold. If we do just continue from here, I'd probably look for a break and retest, right? We're never just going to grab shorts right at these lows. We'd rather wait for the break and retest, see if it gives us some stronger structure and a better entry point. It's all about getting that better entry and managing our risk. XAUSD bouncing again on daily open and does not have direction, LOL. I don't know. I wouldn't say gold doesn't have direction, right? Looking at it, just sort of an easier direction to the downside here. Now, if you are waiting for the 4-hour time frame, that closes in 24 minutes, and that also is giving us the direction of the downside due to the fact that look at the failure to move higher. Price tried to move up, failed. Move up, failed. So again, looking for continuation on gold. I do think these shorts do want to play out. We will find a better entry point at some point. Long term, yes. Sorry. No, you're all good, bro. You're all good. Yeah, scalping wise, still looking for the shorts as well. Good selling pressure here. And we also see, what do we see? Volume stepped in with those headlines that came out, right? So headlines leads to stronger volume due to the fact that markets, institutions, even retail is reacting to these headlines. But for the most part, it's the algorithms and the institutions that react to the headlines. Those are the ones that really move markets. Explosion sound heard in vicinity of Iran's Syriac. No official comment yet. Hey, brother, what's going on? Yes, sir. Thoughts on PPI? Dude, let's break it down. Let's break down PPI real quick. So PPI came out. PPI is sort of that gauge to CPI, the forward-looking, if you would have. Now, PPI came in at 6% last month, right? 6% over the forecast of 4.9%. Huge beat right there. Today, its forecast was 6.4%. Came out again higher than expected, 6.5%. The way I'm seeing that is institutions, right? Institutions were looking for the forecast of 4.9% last month because of the higher inflation, and they were way off, right? We had a much bigger PPI. Now they again were looking for PPI to be higher. So they were looking for 6.4%. But again, they were inaccurate. The forecast, the bank forecast was wrong on this. It was higher than expected. This is sort of telling me institutions, big banks, they're seeing us run into a bit of a wall here. They're seeing us say, okay, inflation might be hitting us a lot harder than expected. And we know that also because of CPI yesterday. Let's pull up yesterday's date as well. What's going on? Kevin, when you are place your trade, are you always doing stream in New York and NYSE? Yeah, so always, I like to trade this New York session. So 8:20 to about 10:30, 11 o'clock is my trading period, my trading window that I like to trade. So if I am here with you guys streaming, I will let you guys know, hey, I'm going to be taking this trade. I'll give you an idea of where my stop loss is, my idea behind the trade, why I'm taking it, where the take profit is, and you guys could do what you want with that information. This is not a call out service. This is not a signal service. This is an information first stream. This is all about giving you guys strength and power. Remember, information, knowledge is power. Let's make you guys powerful. So CPI, right? 4.2% yesterday. Talk about crazy inflation, man. The Fed's target was 2%. We were down to 2.4% just in, let's see, this was just in March, right? Powell did a great job. Let's go, Powell. You're bringing inflation down to 2.4%. And then Trump was like, bang, unnecessary war in Iran. Bang, oil prices higher. Bing bong, inflation up, oil up. Everything's more expensive now. Inflation flies. We're at 4.2%. We're almost double where inflation was in just March, April, May, June. 3 months. In 3 months, we went from 2.4% to 4.2%. The cost of living in the US is skyrocketing. It is at a 72% disapproval rate, only a 30% approval rate. Things are wild right now. And yesterday, Trump even got on and he said, I love inflation. I don't know if you guys saw that clip. He came on and he said, I love inflation. Bro, what? What? But whatever. We'll take it for what it is, right? We're day traders. We're supposed to be here to read the news, read the assessment of the data that comes out so we could trade with it accordingly. Well, guess what? Trading that news, trading it accordingly. We're looking for shorts. I'm not taking these shorts right away, but I do want to wait for some type of pullback. Now, something I might look for is going to be a similar trade setup that we saw yesterday, where yesterday we opened below. We opened around here at 9:30 on the New York session. We chopped our way higher towards that market high, swept it, and reversed. I would be looking for the same trade setup today, where we come up towards our pre-market high. That's going to be 73.38, sweep it, and look to reverse. So this would be the trade setup on the S&P that I'd possibly be looking for with the proper reaction. Overall bearish trend. The economic data that came out today was bearish. There's no reason to be trying to force trades. Even if we look like, oh, we're holding VWAP here, I got to take it long. It's not worth it, ladies and gentlemen. Do not fade the trend. This reminds me of a video of African press. Yeah, exactly. It's not that bad. Corruption is only bad if I'm not involved. That's really funny. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Oil with a nice little pullback area. I would be interested in possibly some oil longs, but the way these headlines are coming out today, we have to remember that oil is usually the most heavily impacted. If I was looking for oil longs, I would look to buy in this area right over here. So between 90.44, stop loss around 89.91. If we're looking for those longs right there, stop loss down over here. Take profit would be that new high of day right there. That's a 5-to-1 risk to reward. Even if you go for that next pivot high, right, you go over here. That's also almost a 3-to-1 risk to reward. So a little interested in oil. We'll see how it holds. And again, given those headlines, these headlines make oil bullish. Why does it make oil bullish? Because those news headlines is causing a disruption on oil supplies. If something is negative on the supply chain, then price goes higher. Yep, exactly. Any chance you could break down Euro, NZD? Yeah, we could run that up for sure, for sure. And then we'll break down some GC, some gold for you guys, XAU, USD, EUR, NZD, NZD. Euro, oh, and ZD. There we go. Let's go, let's go. Now, guys, just so you know, I personally do not trade this asset. I am a futures trader, usually trading the S&P 500, NASDAQ, and gold. But the power of market gives you the ability to read any global asset with strong fundamentals and have confidence in those fundamentals. So ECB hike and Gulf tensions keep Euro NZD supported despite Kawhi data. Kawhi Leonard, Nixon 6, Nixon 5. What supports the bias? ECB surprise hawkish lifts euro yield support. Eurozone GDP upside would firm ECB pricing. Risk off pressure hurts carry demand. So remember, if it's hurting demand, what happens? Price would go lower if it hurts demand versus price goes higher if we hurt supply. Middle East escalation boosts global risk aversion. So we'll see. We are moving higher on it right now. We could take a look at the chart too. Let's do EUR, NZD. Quick look. Okay, moving pretty higher. We take a look at the daily time frame, see if there's a general trend that we're trading. And it does look like, check it out. We found some lows down here. We found support. We're trying to make our way back higher. If I was taking this asset for a position, would most likely be looking for longs targeting this $2 mark or 2.00 mark, wherever you want to call it. That is about, it's pretty far from where we are right now. Yes, sir. Euro and gold moving like best friends. Yeah, that's nice, man. Yo, good morning, guys. Good morning. Make some money today. We're getting some other headlines coming in here. See if we got anything major. SpaceX IPO attracts more than 70 billion in retail orders. Yo, stay away from the SpaceX IPO. I'm thinking SpaceX IPO, it comes out, we maybe sell off really hard in that morning, then we go bullish. You know, it could really go one of two ways, but I would 100% leave it alone. The reason I would leave it alone is we're sort of getting the same reaction we got when Meta, or Facebook at the time, IPO'd. So let's quickly give you guys one more time, though, some levels here. See if there is anything. Yeah, not too much, not too much. Really would just look for price to move higher towards this area on the Euro NZD. Support-wise, I'd possibly be looking for this spot. You see right here was a resistance point. Could even drag it down a little bit. So resistance, resistance. Tried to be resistance one more time until we bull flagged and moved higher. That would be the support area. So I'd look to buy the dip, sell the rip. This is a clear bull trend for the past 10 trading days. We'll keep an eye on that. Guys, we're getting headlines left and right now. Trump says U.S. talking to Iran. Bro, how many times we got to get a headline like this every single day? Bank of Japan intervention at these. You know, we'd have to see. Not too keen on the intervention myself, but we'll see. You know, could always break it down. Look at let's see, USD JPY. Let's break it down and see what market has to say about it, right? USD JPY holds near 160 as markets await key US PPI claim. So that did come out. Geopolitical tensions in Gulf dampens yen's safe haven appeal. Fed still priced relatively hawkish versus Bank of Japan normalization hopes. Ongoing global search for yield sustains USD-funded carry trades. Strong U.S. activity data reinforces higher for longer Fed pricing. This is something we've been going over. Here we go. Another headline, guys. We are headline heavy today. Headline heavy today. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, Trump lost the plot. He's saying we're gonna hit them harder than ever tonight, and then he goes to we're talking with them. You think he's talking to them on the phone like, hey, you want to make a peace deal? I'm going to hit you later tonight, but you want to make a peace deal? Trump says preference is to take Carg Island. We know this. This has been something that's sort of been rotating in the headlines lately. What's cool too, guys, let's check it out on our search tab here on market. Let's do popular, KHARG, and let's see how many headlines have come up in the past about this. What are we looking at in gold? What's going on, man? I'll cover gold again in just a moment. I did cover it before, but I will give you guys another rundown. Trump says preference to take Carg Island. Trump to take Carg Island. The U.S. to hit Iran very hard tonight, threatens to take Carg Island. What I want to do is I want to scroll back. Here we go. Look at that. So this was all new. This is today, 24 minutes ago. And then boom, here we go, 4 days ago. Explosion sounds reported near Iran's Carg Island. This was 4 days ago, so the U.S. was already making this happen. Iran's FAR news agency says explosion sounds heard near Carg Island. U.S. Navy enforcement blockade, flag tanker Lexi in international waters near Carg Island. That's 8 days ago. What I'm looking for right now, guys, is to see if there was any bit of a clue or a sign that says the U.S. has been planning this on Carg Island. And we are sort of seeing that with the 4 days ago, an explosion near. U.S. Central Command says forces disabled flag tanker on June 2nd after it allegedly ignored warnings and continued towards Iran's Carg Island, violating blockade measures. Yeah, bro, we absolutely could cover NASDAQ. U.S. Treasury continues economic offense against Iran. Regime troops unpaid. Police absence. Carg Island closed 13 days ago. So it seems like there was already some buildup going on there. U.S. struck more than 50 military targets on Carg Island. This was 65 days ago. War's going on, guys. And this is now new, the whole U.S. claiming that they want to take Carg Island. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ now. I know you guys wanted to look at the NASDAQ too. I'm a big NQ trader and fan myself. So let's see. So first thing we can do when we come to our market chart is we could click our most recent candle. And this is going to tell us what moved the markets more recently. Analyze candle data, scanning market data for time period, analyzing price action and volume patterns. Bang. Risk off, swing on Iran strike threats, and hotter US PPI keeps Fed hawkish. Trump threatens to hit Iran very hard and seize key oil infrastructure. This is just what we were covering off those headlines. Explosion reports near Iran and Kuwait drone attacks, heightened Gulf conflict fears. U.S. PPI headlines beat forecast, reinforcing sticky inflation and higher for longer rates. Now we could take a look at our interest rate tracker over here. And we still see 25% BPS by September is 21%. FedWatch tool also showing 20 to 30% chance of a Fed rate cut by September. Now, next week, we do have an FOMC meeting at 2 p.m. Eastern. That's going to also give us some insight into the fact, or really what's going on, if Kevin Warsh wants to stay bullish, if Kevin Warsh wants to go more bearish. When we say bullish or bearish for the Fed, what we're talking about is hawkish or dovish. Dovish is when the Fed is cutting rates. Hawkish is when the Fed is hiking rates. Now, because of everything going on, we're most likely going to get a turn more towards a hawkish Fed. Guys, hawkish Fed. All right, Trump says U.S. flying planes over Tehran, claims no idea what's happening. What do you mean you got no idea what's happening? Huh? Trump indicating U.S. warplanes over Tehran amid active U.S.-Iran strikes signal major, immediate geopolitical and oil risk escalation. Again, can always pull back, see what oil's doing now. Oil pulled back towards that area. I'd really only be interested in oil myself if this current 5 minute, right, we could start to close back above and we see that price is holding this area in here. would possibly look for some longs if you do take any oil trades because of the volatility. If you're trading futures, you would want to size down to micros, right? To MCL, it's micro crude oil. So, yep, we're coming into that area. We're trying our best to hold. Would not be jumping in just because we're there. Markets are like meme coins. Yup. No one knows. No one knows when someone will dump or pump for memes. Bro, seriously. Seriously. All right, so ES, we're waiting for a sweep of that previous high. Same trade setup that we were looking for yesterday. NASDAQ, somebody was asking for the NASDAQ. Let's run that down as well. NQ, slightly bearish. Pullback level 29,250 on market. That would be a sweep of our recent high from yesterday. I don't know if we're going to pull back that far. That would call for us to pull back about 400 points. But listen, in these markets, that's not unheard of. We're getting extra volatility. We see a heightened VIX. Higher VIX means more volatility, more uncertainty, and usually more bearish price action. Trump says Iran barred from nuclear weapon development. Oh, well, if Trump said so, right? And then I'm sure they'll just, drop what they're doing. Please analyze gold. Bro, I got you. Yo, listen, we're going to be rotating mainly through gold, NASDAQ, and S&P 500. So don't even worry about it, guys. Maybe he woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Maybe, possibly. I don't know if there's a right side of the bed for people like that. Trump, let's see. NASDAQ, slightly bearish. What's supporting NASDAQ to the downside? Escalating Iran conflict and Hormuz closure threatens global growth. Remember, guys, it's not just a war. It's not just a halt in the Strait of Hormuz. It's a war. It's it's the blockade in the Strait of Hormuz. It's leading to oil supply to be dampened. When oil supply is down, oil prices move higher. When oil prices move higher, the dominoes of the economy start to fall. Everything gets more expensive. The big companies start charging people more money. It's more money to import and export. It's more money for just gas prices. It's affecting all economies, and inflation is now being impacted by that. US PPI upside risk may force hawkish repricing of Fed path. Now, this too, guys, what was keeping markets more bearish off of the war was the higher oil prices and the uncertainty of that geopolitical tensions, right? Remember, if we're causing a blockade and we're hurting Iran's Strait of Hormuz, we're not really finding that effect in the US. The US gets most of its oil from the US and from Canada. But guess who gets most of their oil from the Strait of Hormuz? Guess who gets most of their oil from Iran? China, Japan, South Korea, some of the US's top trade partners. So this circles back to when the war began months ago, and I was telling you guys, this isn't just a US, Iran, Israel war. This is a war that's going to impact geopolitics and the global economy. And that's exactly how things have played out. We're impacting geopolitics, right? We're getting in a bit of a bad understanding, a bad vibe between the US and China, right? Things aren't playing out well. The US is interfering with China's ability to get oil. Do you guys really think that China is happy about that? I mean, look at these headlines, man. Talk about back and forth. Do you think he just forgot to hit send on some of these lately? Trump seeks Iran deal now. And not for nothing. Does anybody really believe headlines like these anymore? Knicks didn't get lucky, man. Knicks played with heart. Knicks in 5, baby. Yes, sir. Surging oil prices risk stagflation and higher real yields. If yields move higher, historically, stocks move lower. The reason for that is because when yields are higher, let's say yields hit 5%, what companies can do then is lock in that 5%. Let's talk about 30-year yields. 5%. Companies could lock in that 5% gain for 3 decades versus trying to invest in a bit of a BS AI stock right now. And that stock could have a lot of risk and start to sell. So if you were a billion-dollar company, would you rather invest your extra capital in a little bit of give or take stocks that could be AI stocks, AI driven, could see that AI bubble? Or would you be more appeal to say, okay, let me take this yield trade right now, 5-year yield, 30 years. That's where I'm parking my money. Give me that consistent gain. Surging oil prices, tightening global financial conditions from ECB and other central banks. Geopolitical risk drives rotation into defense and away from high beta tech. And something else to note, guys, and I'll cover this. Let's go to all, and let's see if SpaceX has any good headlines. Something to know about SpaceX is that they're doing an $86 billion offering. Now, I believe 90 to 95% of that offering is already owned by institutions. So this is really a big liquidity hunt, right? The SpaceX is going to IPO. All the people who were given some type of package by shares are now going to be able to sell out of those shares and use that IPO and retail as exit liquidity. SpaceX draws more than 70 billion in retail. Like, yo, I'm so sorry, retail, but kiss your 70 billion goodbye. This is going to be a hard hit. It's going to drop. I mentioned before how Meta, let's take a look at Meta real quick. Now, Meta was Facebook at some point. Now, Facebook, let's see, it IPO'd in 2012. And take a look. First off, Meta IPO'd at $100 billion market cap. 100 billion. SpaceX is IPOing at nearly 1.75 trillion. That is 17 times higher than Meta or Facebook when Facebook IPO'd. And guess what Meta was able to do? It IPO'd, and from high to low, we actually kept going here. Look at this big dip. That is a 60% drop. 60% drop. But then guess what? It's a strong company. It's something that you would want to buy and hold. And over time, it just ripped and ripped and ripped. Look at that. As high as 2,500, 2,600% on Meta. Doesn't mean it's going to give us that return. Doesn't mean SpaceX is going to do the same exact thing. But I do believe SpaceX will be a strong company and may have that follow through as well. I just don't think it has that ability right off of its IPO, especially at such a high valuation. Excuse me. Hourly time frame is about to close. My biggest concern here with how the hourly is closing here on the S&P 500 is if we do close somewhere higher, somewhere around this level over here, if we close above this white line I just drew, we would see this as buyers stepped in and brought us back higher. Hopefully we close somewhere below that level like we're trying to right now with 30 seconds, and I can look for the sweep of the highs and reversal back lower. Guys, we're getting more headlines right now. Trump says no to troops on the ground. Okay, now this is a nice headline, right? But then he also says Trump says Iran is finished. Guys, what in the world is going on with these headlines right now? Leave these markets alone until the dust starts to settle. We always talk about that. Let's see, Trump going back and forth. More patience needed, and I think better entries will come later at post-New York session time. Exactly, after impatient traders are stopped out. Bro, 100%. 100%. Trump says Iran attack tonight will be more powerful. Like, we're getting stronger headlines about more powerful attacks. We're attacking. And then he's like, we're looking for a deal now. Like, where was that? Trump sees more bombing tonight. There will be more bombing tonight, bigger, more powerful. And Fox interview. Trump on Iran. I'd rather not hit bridges and power plants. Oh, okay, what a guy. Trump says he would like to strike a deal with Iran now. And then all these other headlines came out about they're finished. We're going to attack them. It'll be powerful. This is things we've seen before. Hourly good at close down here. I am looking for, just like Welcome mentioned, I want to see markets shake people out, us pull back, sweep this high, and start to reverse, just like we saw yesterday. 5-minute closed above, closed back below. We could look for an entry once we close back below that level, and that would be my trade setup today on the S&P 500. I know some people were looking for the NASDAQ, so let's break down NASDAQ as well. Always important to start on a daily time frame just to get a bit of an idea of where price is currently trading. We have our previous day low right here. We're going to update this to our PDL, previous day low. 4-hour time frame, just run through some different time frames, make sure we're not missing any key areas. We could delete some old zones. Look at this, man. Yesterday's pre-market plan on NASDAQ 2 was perfect. I had this area, this blue zone marked out for you guys. I even wrote sweep on this level. Same thing, swept it and then sold off about just an easy 700 points on the NASDAQ. You know, small move, nothing crazy. So what am I looking for today? It's going to be a couple things that we might possibly keep an eye on. We might look to see, can we come back up to this sweep level now and sweep that and pull back? Or do we just end up rejecting off of that pre-market high, same trade setup as the S&P? Could update our volume profile to 6 p.m. Eastern from previous day. So Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern is technically our futures daily open. So futures markets open at 6 p.m. Eastern and close 5 p.m. Eastern the following day for a 23-hour period. That is our futures market. So we're really not seeing any major supply, which would be resistance points or demand. So what I would really be interested in, same thing as yesterday, sweep a high, reverse back lower, target the lows. We are just trading the range, but knowing the overall fundamentals are still leaning more bearish, right? We always want to trade with the fundamentals. Target level 28,500 on NASDAQ. So let's draw out our short position tool. 28,500 is right down. Look at that, guys. Perfect. Lines up right with that area of support that I had. And that area of support is what held up on Tuesday, held up again on Wednesday. So here we are on Thursday. Can we come back to this level? Can we finally try to break through it too? So if we don't get the sweep and reversal, something else we might keep an eye on is a breakdown and retest of this zone. So still overall more bearish. I'd rather sell the highs than sell the lows, but we will be patient. This is NASDAQ. Take a look at the 15-minute time frame. Let it do its thing. Look at this. Exactly why we don't just jump in blindly into trades. Here's oil. Oil is making its way back lower right now. So oil, in my opinion, you know, we were looking for oil to move higher off of those news headlines. It is really struggling to do so. We do not force trades here, guys. Our goal here with Market in the Morning, Market TV, give you guys information, give you guys good guidance, give you guys some gold nuggets and great market insights, right? There is no BS trading here. We're not going to be sitting here watching charts, clicking buy, stopped out, sell, stopped out, buy, sell, buy, sell. No way. That's why we do our pre-market. That's why we do our breakdown. Let's see. Let's check out gold one more time. I know a lot of people were looking for gold. Gold I was looking for XAU USD. I was looking for 41.11 to 41.20 as a area for sellers to step in. Now, if we do break this level, I wouldn't be completely against a break and then a reversal back lower. And we'd look for the lower high to take the position stop loss at the recent high we just made. Now, if we don't break it, then guess what? This area that was resistance at 2 in the morning, resistance at 9. Oh, I'm sorry, that was 2 in the afternoon yesterday, 9 at night yesterday, and then 4 in the morning today. This is an area that clearly we see active selling market participants. Could take a look at our market terminal, make sure our gold is, yup, look at that. Swing trading bearish, day trading bearish. We already know the bias on gold. Why? Because we've been here every day for Market in the Morning. All this hype over SpaceX reminds me of the gold hype. When everyone talks about it, it's a good time to sell. Bro, 1,000%, man. 1,000%. And the fact that retail, 70 billion in retail, that's a huge red flag in my opinion. A lot of people, it's funny, a lot of people see that and go, wow, that's huge. I got to buy it too. I want to be part of that. No, you don't. Trust me, you do not. Let's see. GC pullback level 41.75, target 41.40. Still interested in shorts. Taking these shorts. Targets would be somewhere down here. Let's see. It is 9:05. Markets open in about 25 minutes for the New York session. 41.35 is the area I'd like to see gold pull back. 41.35. We have 41.75 as our pullback level on market. 41.75. And that's right where our old demand was, right? So this was an old support zone. We broke it. Now acts as resistance. Let's also update our volume profile here. Make sure that's up to date too. Give us some insight and clarity. So D-shaped pattern. We don't look to take any trades. When we see this, the areas of high volume, it's a no trade zone, because we know that when price is near that high volume, it's consolidating because it's capturing all of that volume. Whereas the high and the low, that's where markets were reversing and reversing. So because now we know the fundamental analysis on it, we know that we would rather sell the high instead of buying the low. So we'll be looking for a short position on gold off of those highs. Just delete these out. Perfect. Delete this out. Perfect. So that's what we're looking for on gold today. Really just a matter of being patient, finding a good short opportunity near some of the highs. We do have another, I'm glad I saw it right now, another little area of resistance on the 15-minute time frame. If we hold this one, I would have a lot more confidence to hold gold for a bigger short position, for a much stronger short position. Now, the reason for that would be, look at the price action we're seeing right now. I'm going to show you just GC. Now, we're making lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. We did not make a lower low yet, but we did make another lower high. So if we do not break 41.34, this pivot from 4 o'clock in the morning, we make another lower high, then guess what? The odds are much more increased in our favor that we head towards another lower low. So that's, again, just trading the trend. It's not like I'm looking for, oh, well, I want gold to break out here to go long because I'm going to fade this big-ass move that I see so clearly in the favor of the bears. I got to be right. We can't keep selling off. Thank you, Melvin. I appreciate that. I can't stand it when I see it, but I see it very often where new traders are just like, they're trying to call the bottom. Like, oh, we can't. They have the mindset of, we can't keep moving lower. We can't do this again. We can't. Like, yo, what do you mean we can't? Markets can do whatever the heck they want. And the whole saying of the trend is my friend, it's not just a saying, it's a fact. The trend is our friend, so we're going to be looking for shorts until that trend permanently or breaks with the market structure. So we take out some of these highs, right? So we get a strong break. Strong would be a strong break, not a break where we just break it a little bit and chop around. No, a strong break is like, we don't even acknowledge this zone is here. Higher highs are made, higher lows are formed. We pull back, we start creating more higher lows off of that. That's when the market has shifted and we could look for longs on gold. Until that happens, there's no reason to get long on gold. Same setup for XAUUSD. Next to lower low will be 4,000. Dude, that's crazy. Yeah, look at that. We're near 4,000 on GC as well. Guys, I've been calling out 4,000 for like this whole entire moving market in the morning. I've been saying since we had this major sell-off right here that I'd like to see gold crash below 4,000. It's going to stop out so many people. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. It's going to stop out so many people. All the people that have been buying gold since October of 2025, they are officially in the red, right? So the lower we go, the more money the market takes, the more pain is driven into the markets. But that also gives us a much better buying opportunity. Gold below 4,000 on a higher time frame, longer position scale, that's a buy right there. You buy and hold. You don't buy and day trade. But for the time being, it's still short the highs, buy the lows. We want to trade that trend. Let's see. Oil trying to hold up here. If I had a lot of confidence in oil, I would possibly look for longs off of this higher low right there. See if we can make our way back higher. I'm not taking this trade myself, guys. I'm not a big fan of trading oil in these market conditions, especially with how many headlines we've been getting this morning. We get one headline and then bang, markets just completely topple in the opposite direction. Oil completely starts to drop. So just be patient on that. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Make sure you guys run that like button up. I'm so happy to be giving you guys some good explanations, break things down for you guys, give you some strong market insights, break down the economic data, the market headlines that come out when they come out, some key price levels, just calling out some great trades. Like I mentioned before, though, our goal with market and market TV is not to give you guys, oh, come join our live and we're going to give you the easiest call outs in the world. No, No, we want you guys to be independent traders. When you get into trading, the whole goal of trading is the independence and the time that comes with trading, right? If you're a successful trader, you have so much extra time on your hands. You're able to start new projects, you're able to keep yourself busy. But if you're relying on someone, I have to join, I have to take the call out, I have to take the same trades. You're in the same position as if you were working for someone and you're just taking their rules, listening to what they're telling. XAG, yeah, I got you. XAG USD, XAG USD. What's that? Silver? Let's get it, bro. Let's get it. Would love to cover some silver. Silver is going to be giving us sort of the same idea of gold. Silver a lot stronger to the downside, though. Wow, silver down to $63. That is mind-blowing in my opinion. We were up to 120 at some point. Silver is now 50% off of those all-time highs. Talk about a fire sale right there. I always love to circle back to the fact that there has been no time in history where silver created an all-time high, sold off, and never made its way back to those all-time highs again. So here's an example of that. Silver had a rally, very similar looking rally to what we had last year, rallied over 170%, and then it sold off. Look at that, sold off 70%. So in my opinion, these heavy assets, gold, silver, they still have a ways to go to the downside to cause more pain for the long-term investors. People still not understanding why is gold moving lower when we have a war going on? Because oil's moving higher. That's the asset that's getting the prices and the volume into the market, and there's still that uncertainty there. 76% move to the downside there. Came down all the way to $12. Guess what it ended up doing since then? That was in 2020 COVID. Moved up another 700%. That's wild. So now let's do the math. We just saw 76% was where it was able to sell off to. So let's use our ruler tool and let's measure where is our 76%? Where's our 75% to the downside on silver? Wow, that's coming real low. $30. $30 right there. In my opinion, 30 is a deep, deep cut. You know, we're big fans of marking out those pivots though, right? So if I see this pivot, this recent low, look at this. This is the same October 2025 that we were using gold with, right? And that's at $45. In my opinion, nah, man, see 58, 59. Listen, I think any area is a good spot to buy silver, especially now that we would be 90% return on investment if we would trade back higher. But I think there's still a ways to go. And the lower you get in price, buying wise, the better your return on investment. If you bought here at 63, we saw that gave you a 90%. But if you buy down here near 45, 47, that gives you 160%. Yeah. Yeah, I got you. Absolutely. I'll show you how to break down some NASDAQ. Somebody's asking how to utilize market to look at NASDAQ and S&P 500. Bro, we do this every day, so great question, guys. If anybody ever has questions, you want to know how to use market a little bit better in your favor, let me know in the comments. So taking a look. So yeah, overall, to wrap up silver, still bearish on it, just like gold, not really seeing much upside. Does that mean we can't have an intraday move to the upside? Absolutely not. It just means the probability of that is much lower. And when sellers do take control, that's when we have those better moves. So we have 15 minutes for the market to open. So let's go over some NASDAQ before we get that. So NQ, weighed by Iran war and PPI risk despite Fed cut hopes. So there are no more Fed cut hopes. This will probably regenerate soon, and it will say Fed expected to hike rates. So the day trading bias on NASDAQ, slightly bearish. What's supporting this bias? Escalating Iran conflict and Hormuz closure threaten global growth, right? We saw this. Now, the best way to utilize market AI when you're trading financial assets, right? The financial markets, S&P, NASDAQ, gold, is to use your day trading bias. This will wrap up everything we have everywhere else into your bias for you. So it gives you, okay, look, escalating Iran conflict and Hormuz closure threatens, I'm going to zoom in a bit for you, threatens global growth. Well, it doesn't just give you the headline. It gives you a small brief of it. Systematic funds de-risk on rising war risk, oil and LNG supply shocks, and higher recession probabilities, pressuring NASDAQ risk appetite. But not only does it give you that information, but it also does pull any major headlines that are related to this. So Trump says Iran attack tonight will be more powerful. Trump, there will be more bombing tonight, bigger, more powerful. The biggest, the Trump on Iran, they are negotiating with us to make a deal, but they are proud. So it's funny, some people might read that they are proud as a good thing. It's actually the opposite. If they're proud, that means they're holding ground. They're not so quick to fold. US PPI upside risk may force hawkish repricing of Fed pay. Again, this is something from our economic data. This is pulling it in for us. Hotter producer inflation would push treasury yields up and compress high multiple NASDAQ valuations. Surging oil prices risk stagflation and higher real yields. Energy shock can lift inflation expectations and force tighter policy or slower cuts, raising discount rates on long duration tech. So really great way to break down the asset that you're trading using the Market AI terminal. Hey, absolutely, man. Happy to help. Kevin, your explanation is eye-opening. It comes off very simple and understandable. You're really good at teaching this stuff. Yo, Mitch, I appreciate you. I appreciate it, man. Absolutely. I love doing what I do. I love these markets. Puts a smile on my face to get feedback like that. So let's keep it going, guys. I appreciate you all for always joining these episodes. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe if you're new here on our YouTube channel. We do this Monday through Friday now. All right. So that would be the main meat and potatoes of how to use market to gain that edge in whatever asset you're trading. On top of that, let's say you took a few days off of the market and you're coming back to the charts. You could even hit full screen on our chart here and you're looking at it and you go, whoa, what happened over here? Well, first off, the charts are all annotated. So it's going to tell you. NQ sells off and Trump warns military action on Iran helicopter incident. And then you can click the candle and that will bring up our candle analysis tool. Risk off reversal as Israeli military signals readiness for larger renewed strikes on Iran. NASDAQ has been up about 1% earlier, gains fading into the move. Headlines show Middle East tensions initially easing, then re-escalating around 10:25 to 10:26. Large single-hour sell-off suggests de-risking in high beta U.S. tech. No major U.S. macro data. All right, so again, it breaks everything down for us, tells us what happened and why. So market really is like, think of it this way, man. If you had an AI tool for markets, it'd be Market AI. More headlines coming out. I heard the alerts. Let's see if that was anything. India demands end to U.S. attacks on ships after 3 sailors killed. So I hate circling back to this, but guess what? The attacks, what's going on? I mentioned it's not just impacting the U.S. and Iran. It's not just impacting Iran's oil. It's impacting other countries too. It's a war, guys. People are losing their lives. As much as we do sort of not make jokes about it, but make jokes about the fact that one headline will be like, oh, we're looking for a deal. And then the next headline says, we see more bombing tonight. Like, it's just not a good situation right now. Can we look at GBP USD? I guess so. We'll take a look. So guys, we won't cover every asset recommended in the comments because I do want you guys to also be able to use market yourselves. Now, I mentioned before, when you get into trading, you don't want to be somebody that relies solely on somebody's call outs. You want to be able to be independent as a trader. Well, if that's the case, you also want to be independent when it comes to breaking down markets and Market AI. GBP USD, US PPI, and claims keep Fed hawkish, capping GBP USD. Swing trading bias slightly bearish, day trading bias slightly bearish. And what do? Every time we come up to a new asset, we're coming right down to the day trading bias on GBP and what is supporting. US PPI risk keeps Fed hawkish, repricing in focus. Strong U.S. non-farm payrolls and revisions reinforce Fed hawkish repricing. U.S. rate futures price higher odds of December hike. So what's really impacting the GBP USD is that hawkish tone in the Fed, right? And we know all of this. We're able to break it down. We're able to see this happen before it even happens because we have such a great terminal with market AI. We have the financial data. We have the information of the economic data. We use it to our favor. So, man, it blows my mind that I still see traders on social media platforms that are like trying to full port PPI to pass evaluation accounts. Like, it's just silly. Like, take advantage of the data that comes out, use market to gain that edge to see the bias of that data that comes out, and then trade that. Don't just be like jumping into whatever. Like, that's ridiculous. NASDAQ, I'll add an alert up here on NQ in case we sweep that high and we're looking at something else. Oil is trying to continue. Again, if you have stronger conviction in it, you could look for an oil long position now, stops near $90, and look to even just take it to this recent high for a 3-to-1. I'm still not a big fan of it. I would, in general, like to see oil move higher to bring S&P, NASDAQ, and gold prices lower too, but that doesn't mean we're going to just keep on pumping, no problem. We could pull back towards this level. Look at how this level acted as support. Yesterday, this was Tuesday, Wednesday, and then here's today, Thursday. So all week, this big area, 88 to 86, has been a support range. So I don't want to be buying at 90 when I know that 88 could possibly be a much better entry price. Awesome, guys. Awesome, awesome. Guys, let me know what you trade, where you trade it, how you trade it, and what strategy you use. What's great with market too, guys, and something I always like to preach as a trader and as a mentor is that every trading strategy works, just like every trading strategy doesn't work. You could trade support and resistance, supply and demand, ICT concepts, initial balance, opening range breakout, gap fill, fair value gaps, you name it. If you have proper risk management and you're consistently trading the same strategy, you're going to find success. If you have inconsistent risk management, sometimes you're on mini, sometimes you're on micro, sometimes you risk $300 a trade, sometimes you risk $100 a trade, you're going to find inconsistency in your trading. If you have consistency, you have a routine, you're going to find consistency in your trading a lot easier. I love in calendar event how AI has good accuracy on predicting the numbers over the forecast of the banks. I know, right? We recently added that to the market AI terminal where market actually has the price where market's expecting to be. Here we go. Look, market AI prediction for PPI today was higher than expected, and it came in higher than expected. Now, market, look at this. U.S. Michigan sentiment tomorrow, 10 o'clock. You guys better be here. We'll be here for market in the morning. So I hope to see you guys tomorrow too. Michigan sentiment, we're looking at range. Bank forecast is 46. Market is saying we're probably going to hit near 45. Cooling but still positive labor and income trends argue for only modest sentiment pullback versus consensus. So that's pretty cool. It also has our prediction. Prediction markets are always very helpful too. So awesome stuff there, guys. Market is the platform to use. If somebody said you can only have one subscription, I'd be like, yo, give me a free trading view account and give me market AI and I'll make as much as I gotta. Support and resistance all the time. ICT isn't it stand for, yep, exactly. ICT, I can't trade. Jokes. Jokes, you were right. If you had good risk management, nothing could stop you. Absolutely. 100%. 100%. All you need is structure and routine to find some consistency. If you're all over the place, why would you expect your trading results to be all over the place? Gold, we're still looking for a pullback. We have not found that pullback. If anything, I am starting to not get concerned, but think that these sellers are starting to hold us lower and we might not get that pullback that we're waiting for on gold. That is a 30-point pullback from here. If we do respect these recent lower highs, then what we might look for. So guys, what do we want to do? If we don't pull back to this level, I'm not just going to jump in a random short. Let's come up with another trade plan. So let's see. We're going to mark out some recent pivot lows. And I say, okay, great. If we can sell off, break these lows, I'm going to look for some type of break and retest area. Break, retest, take that short, and we take it to the next low. If we don't, guess what? We don't break this area and we just keep trading within this range. That's a no trade zone for me. I don't want to take a short position just to get stopped out, just for it to then run to the area that I originally wanted to enter. And I also don't want to go long here thinking that we're going to pull back, just for the shorts to continue trend, knowing that we had that higher time frame in our favor. Bro, right? Let's see. Well, there are 95% losing rates and 95% of traders. Yeah, that's great. That's some funny stats. You know what? If 95% of traders are losing, then I guess only 5% of traders are using Market AI. Yo, that's an awesome quote. I wish I could invest in Market. I know it's got huge upside. Yo, in the lab, man, if you're watching this, when are we going public, bro? Look at this, man. Oil, like I mentioned, I'm not a fan. I'm not convinced. Why would we buy high when we could buy low? Doesn't look like it's working out in our favor. Leaving it alone. Gold, same situation. Not going short here just to get stopped out. We're just waiting. We have New York session opens in just a minute. We could quickly look at where the VIX is currently trading at. VIX is still elevated above that $20 mark. I'll sell my house to invest in Market. Bullish on Market. You guys already know it. I've been using Market for a whole year. 100% worth every penny spent. Dude, you know it, bro. You know it, man. You make your money back with Market. And to make things even better, we got the Market TV. You guys could join us every day here too. So just a whole lot of great aspects and great reasons to use Market as your go-to terminal. I'm going to grab the link for you guys for Market. For anybody here that likes Market but doesn't have it, let's see. There we go. Market Edge. Let's see. There we go. So guys, if you don't have Market already, I strongly urge you to sign up today. MarketEdge.ai. Use discount code KEV. Will save you 10%. I think that's the best sale we have at the moment. So KEV, K-E-V, saves you 10% monthly, annual as well. Definitely go sign up for Market. You get access to this terminal every day. Extremely important to use. Hopefully, what we're doing is we're also working on a mobile app, like for the App Store to come out as well. That'll make it a lot easier for us to then send push notifications for when breaking news headlines comes out. Could you imagine that, man? You get Market, and you're like, oh wow, we have a headline. Boom, I just got the notification to my phone. I'm going to take this. I got to hop on the chart. That's going to impact markets. You get in, markets react. You're out, done for the day off of one headline alert from Market. Bread and butter, baby. Bread and butter. Yeah, Market AI's Chrome extension is also sick. Let me pull that up now, too, to show you guys that as well. Great call. Great call. Let's see, guys. So cool, man. I mean, Market's just got everything going. Here's our Market, what's it called? Market Trading View integration. We have our live news and our calendar in here. So you don't even need to leave your trading view. You look at your live news, breaking news, go to your calendar, make sure you have your filters on for high impact and medium impact. Countries, I have it set to just US. We don't really have any other data coming out today, so we don't really have to follow the calendar anymore, but it's always important to keep an eye on the news. Market app is inevitable. You know it, man. Yeah, you could set up phone. Yeah, exactly. You could set it up so it's an app on your phone, and you could also set that up so that you get notifications on your phone as well, even before the app launches. So that's also extremely cool. And look at this, guys. With that extension, you get those headlines right on your trading view chart. Add English. You know, I'm pretty sure there's a way to add automatic subtitles to the live streams. Somebody mentioned it yesterday too. Pretty sure you click the three dots on YouTube, go to settings, and I want to say automate captions. That might be it. If anybody does know, drop it in the comments and let us know. Yo, using Market since it came out. Holy, we came a long way. Yo, right, bro? 100%. 100%. Oil chopping around. We're leaving oil alone. Gold, we're waiting for a pullback. NASDAQ and S&P, we're also waiting for a pullback. Ideally, we want to see us move a little bullish off of the New York session open, trap some market participants on the wrong side of the trend, and then reverse. Our goal is always to sell high, buy low. What's going on, brother? Good morning. What's your view on using 5-minute time frame as confirmation for market price forming rejection? For example, on XAU, we are looking for pullback sells. Is a 5-minute time frame strong enough for confirmation? So it always depends, right? Now, my opinion, it's about the level that you mark it off of. So I think you always need to be looking at your zones, your areas of interest on a higher time frame, even if it's just a 15-minute time frame, 30-minute time frame, hourly time frame. You want to keep an eye on the higher time frame because that's usually the easier ability to read the trend and read those areas of interest. Now, because we're day traders, we're usually not trading on an hourly time frame. So break it down. 15-minute time frame. Were there any areas of rejections over there as well? Hourly time frame, 30-minute time frame. But yeah, when you go to enter the trades using the 5-minute and waiting for a rejection is a great thing to do, but you don't want to jump in on the first 5-minute wick, right? Now, if we're pumping, and we get up here, I'm not just going to blindly take a short position on gold. I'm going to let it try to react and see if we wick it, right? Wick it means that we create the bar. Let's say we create a bar like this, create a wick into that. We create some type of rejection candle like this. Great. I'll take it on the close, which let's say it's a green candle. Take it on the close, stops near the high. We can take it like that. If we don't close like that and we get some type of bigger candle, that's a big green body that's moving like this, I'm not just going to randomly jump in a short position. That shows me strength. So be patient. And guess what? That could also mean we're going to wick it and then move on lower from there. So don't jump on in instantly. Let markets play out. We're also getting some headlines right now too. S&P and NASDAQ are moving lower off the New York session open. VIX is moving higher right now. Like I mentioned, if we do not get the shorts at the highs, we'd be interested in seeing a breakdown, a break, and retest. Yes, sir. What's up, Eric, man? Hope you guys are doing well, man. Hope everybody's doing well today. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. A lot of you in here. Love to see it. If you're here on Twitter, don't forget to hit that like and repost button. Repost it to your friends. Make sure when you hit repost, you hit quote, and then you can write something about it. Write about something you learned. Share with us something you learned, and we'll make sure to like it on Twitter and share your post as well. And on YouTube, of course, like, comment, share, and of course, subscribe if you aren't already. And what's cool with Market as well is now we have our Market TV area. You come over to Market TV, you could be watching this live stream right now. Hit the dashboard tab. You can watch the live stream while you have Market open in the background. How cool is that? Such a cool background, such a great area. Subtitles will have to be enabled at the channel level by the admin before users can gain access through their... interesting. All right, so listen, I'm going to take note of that. I'm going to see what we can do. We use a software called StreamYard for our streaming, so I'll see if it does have that ability to give users that access, but I will take note of that. Captions for users. I got you guys. Always here to help you guys do better and update and change things as we see fit, and also that's in your guys' favor. NASDAQ trying to drop. Let's take a look at our equities. I always remind you guys, equities, if you're trading NASDAQ, is very important. Microsoft is dumping. Apple is dumping. Wow, Apple back below 300 at 290 right now, 291. NVIDIA rejecting. Google selling off. I mean, this is just strong selling pressure on equities. I would not want to go long anywhere here. But it also doesn't mean I would just grab a random short. But it definitely looks better on those shorts than the longs due to equities. Let's see. Again, we're at VWAP, though. I don't want to sell lows. We want to be patient, see if we could sell the highs. Yesterday's setup worked better than expected. Learning from pros how to stay patient. There you go, bro. Which setup did you end up taking? Yesterday, we had two beautiful call-outs. We had the gold shorts. I unfortunately deleted the drawing, but it was actually here. It was over here. We were looking for shorts once we started seeing that selling pressure, and then it just continued lower. And then we also had NQ shorts and ES shorts. It was really the ES shorts that I set you guys up with, because 10:30 right over here is when we closed out market in the morning. And I left you guys off with saying if we get back below data high, I would look for a short to target data low. And boom, look at that instant move, 46, almost 50 points on the S&P 500, right, to take profit. Now, what are we looking for today? Similar trade setup, move up, take out pre-market highs. Traders, for whatever reason, who don't understand fundamentals, try to take the breakout to go long just for markets to reverse on them and go back lower, and for us to be able to have that ability to sell the highs and buy the lows. Volume profile, take a quick look at that as well here on the ES. Same situation. Value area high is up here. Just looking for a reaction to those highs. Absolutely. Look at this, man. So happy we stayed away from oil. We're going to continue to stay away from oil today as well. Let's take a look at our, what else do we got? What else do we got? Any headlines? Anything else coming out lately? Has Trump said anything else ridiculous or completely back and forth? World Bank sees commodity prices jump 22% in 2026, reversing earlier forecast from 7% drop. World Bank sees global GDP growth at 1.3% in 2026 amid severe energy disruption and substantial financial stress. World Bank average commodity prices, we saw that. We are beginning to see broadening of inflation. Again, this circles back to what I was telling you guys in the pre-market. This higher inflation, this war that's going on. It's not just US and Iran. It's not just US, Israel, and Iran. It's not just US and China. It's everywhere. Everywhere is being impacted. Oil is an asset that every country uses. So if the supply is taking a hit, prices go higher everywhere. What's the VWAP name of the indicator you're using? So VWAP, let's see. I don't have it on this chart right now. Let's see. ES. So I just use standard VWAP, VWAP, whatever you want to call it. You go to indicators and you just look up VWAP, and it's going to be the one that doesn't have that it was written by anybody, just volume weighted average price. You add that to your chart. When you add it, it's going to give you the upper and lower band. You could just go into the settings and you want to turn band multiplier off, and then you get just the blue level. So we don't really need that upper and lower band. But hey, guess what? You can use it. Some people use that upper and lower band, and they use a VWAP strategy. Like we were talking about, every strategy works as long as you consistently follow it. Gold taking that dump, not looking like it wants to hold any higher. We are getting some more headlines there. See if it's anything important. Officials tell Trump operation would require significant ground troops, likely resulting in heavy U.S. casualties. Again, guys, it's heartbreaking because we talk about it and we cover this every day, but it's not just a war. It's not just impacting prices. People are losing their lives because of this war, this unnecessary war. It's heartbreaking, truly. But as day traders, we have to stay strong. We have to just take the information for what it is and really look to trade carefully and trade in favor of the direction of the bias. S&P trying its best to move lower here. I'm not too convinced to take a short position right now. Still rather let markets open and do their thing. It's 9:39 right now. Markets have been open for 9 minutes. Guess how long the market's open in the New York session? 6.5 hours. We're not freaking out over 9 minutes. We're not forcing any trades. We're not jumping in thinking the market's moving without us. If you guys have the mindset of the market's moving without me, I want you to take that mindset, take that thought, crumble it up, and flush it down the toilet. Because I'd hate to break it to you, but markets are always moving, period. They don't move without you. They move in general. If you're in the trade, great, but they're always moving and they're always giving us new opportunities. So if you didn't catch a trade and markets are moving, just like we're seeing right now, I'm not in any trade. I'm not freaking out over this. I'm still waiting for a pullback. If that pullback doesn't occur, guess what's going to happen? We're going to see another trade setup start to play out, and that's the trade we'll end up taking. But right now, we don't want to sell lows. We just swept a pre-market low. This could be an area that price reacts to. We want to sell high, buy low. But because fundamentals are bearish, we do not want to buy low right now because we could just keep going lower. We've been making lower lows. We've been making lower highs. This is a clear bear trend of a market. Let's see where our previous day low is. Look at this 5% level that I had marked out as well. Very strong point right here. Previous day low is right here. I'm going to mark that out with, we'll make it white. We'll make the text white. We'll go into settings, call it previous day low. Perfect. So that's my thought process then becomes, okay, if we can break below previous day low, and looking at the daily time frame, if we break below previous day low, some traders who are stuck on a 5-minute, they might think, oh, we broke previous day low, that's it. We just had a big move. We just had 80 points. Markets aren't going anywhere else. But be realistic. Look at the daily time frame. Our daily time frame right now is currently green. If we break that previous day low and find momentum like we've been seeing, we can move another 100 points from there. That would bring us to 71.50, right? So do we really want to be jumping in longs? Do we really want to be impatient and jump in shorts now, knowing that we might see a pullback? Absolutely not. This is going to be the next area that I look for support, 71.72. So it's like if we break that previous day low, guess what? I'm just going to look for a break and retest of this zone and take those shorts targeting that 71.72, even 71.75 for a key psych level. So those are the areas, those are the levels, and that's our bias. Nothing will change that. Gold trying to continue lower. I'm not in any gold trades right now. Did not come up to the area we were looking for. Bit of a similar setup. We break lows, look for a break and retest. On ES and NQ. ES, break and retest. NASDAQ. Now, NASDAQ, on the other hand, does have some more support below us versus the ES, which only has support all the way down at 71.75. NASDAQ has the support that's been holding since Tuesday, around 28,519 down to 28,276. Now, that is a 200 to 300 point range that hasn't been holding as buyers. So guess what? When we break down into here, I'm not grabbing short because I know in the past few days, we've been holding it as support. I'm not going to go long either. I'm just going to wait to see the reaction. What I would like to see from that point is I'd like to see markets move lower, move into this support area, try to move higher, fail to breach that recent high, create a lower high, and once we start creating that lower high, would consider a short position to target the break of this demand or support zone. So that's ideally what I'd be looking for on NASDAQ right now. Other than that, what I really like to see is a sweep of that pre-market high and a reversal back lower. Looking at the 5-minute, look at that, man. We're trying to hold that VWAP on NASDAQ, trying to move higher towards the highs. We're not just going to jump in right away. We're going to wait for the reaction. Let me set up myself over here, what I'm looking for. So that is near 28,935, right? 28,935. 28,936, 936. So if we can move higher, close above, and then sweep it and close back below, I would look for a short-term short position. I'd want to position carefully, be patient, and don't forget, guys, the volatility that we're seeing today, you would really want to size down to some micros if you are trading gold futures, or size down as well if you are trading Forex. Bang, look at this, guys. Glad we aren't chasing shorts on gold, right? Look at this chop that we're in. Look at the past 15, 20, 30 minutes on gold right here. We are up and down and up and down and up and down. Not something we'd want to trade. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. NASDAQ trying to hold back up. Take a look at our equities. Equities are still holding a lot more bearish. NVIDIA was the only one that sort of popped that last candle. Met a new low of day. Apple's over here. Apple was moving lower. Microsoft trying to hold. Again, I do want to see that temporary relief to bring us to that liquidity sweep area on the NASDAQ, and then see equity start to reject from there. NVIDIA still trying to hold up. Google was very weak off the open, down 3% from the highs of today already. So just be patient. Extremely strong moves. Nice moves as well. Guys, run the like button up, man. If you're learning something, run that like button up. Show some love. It's all about support here. We love helping you guys. Show us some love and help too. Like button. Let's hit 50 today. Let's hit 50. Let's make that our standard. And I'm going to check right now, make sure we're not lacking. You guys are, yeah, we're close, guys. We're close. 44 likes. You guys are awesome. Love you guys. After such consolidation at gold, there must be some fireworks incoming. We'll see, man. Don't forget, man. Never have the mindset of there must be something soon in the markets, right? Because guess what? Markets can do whatever they want. This circles back to what we were saying before about how some traders have that mindset of we can't keep going any higher or we can't keep going any lower. If you have that mindset, markets will happily prove you wrong and continue higher, continue lower. Look at the strength of this 5-minute right here. Strength of this 5-minute here on ES and NASDAQ. NASDAQ is flying at the moment. Weighted index pulling back. VIX is dropping pretty strong. VIX is dropping towards an area that it reacted to the upside in the past. So if we could find resistance on NASDAQ and support on the VIX, that's ideal for a trade entry. Let's see, our 15-minute time frame did just open. Ooh, something I'm not a big fan of here on NASDAQ is this support area that we formed. Now, I'm not completely against the short still because we have to remember that we are still in a more bear market at the moment due to the fundamental analysis. However, this current 15-minute structure we're seeing, that did trap a lot of shorts at those lows. We see the volume here, and then price reverse to the upside. So I'd want to be a little patient, a little careful, and just sort of see, can we sweep these highs in reverse? If we break these highs with strength and we don't look like we want to reverse, I would look for a pullback in a long position for a short-term trade. Nothing huge, just a small move, short-term trade. Gold also pulling back with strength. Markets are pulling back to possibly give us some trade opportunities here, ladies and gentlemen. Fingers crossed, get your positioning ready. Know your risk. Don't force any trades. Let's also run into market real quick and see. Actually, let's do it right here. So we have it on our TradingView terminal. Are there any other headlines? Officials tell Trump operation would require significant ground troops, right? We just covered that. So again, that's still more of a bearish headline. That is not something that would be like, oh, wow, yeah, that's super bullish. Trump officials saw Carg Island captured as final option. Like we're all over the place on some of these headlines right now. We do not want to be a bull in these markets, in my opinion. Put up NQ over here. NASDAQ getting so close, ladies and gentlemen. So close. See if we can make it there. Guys, let me know what you're trading and what you're looking for. And remember, guys, I'm just giving you guys the breakdown of markets, how to use market AI, the overall bias, general direction. But if you see a trade setup that's in your plan, and that, let's say it's the opposite. Let's say there was a long position and you were in longs from down here on NASDAQ. Great, take your trades. Don't let me or anybody else tell you to take a trade otherwise. Use people for their information. Use people for their insights, for their experience, right? I've been trading these markets over 6 years, almost 7 years now. Yeah, probably 7 years now. So I might have more experience than the next guy or somebody here in the comments, right? So use that experience, use that knowledge in your favor. Just like when we have Nalabon, just like when we have Jivan, Imre, these are guys with even more experience than me, right? So it's amazing to see everything come in full circle and see the support that we can offer you guys. NASDAQ rejecting that. That's a beautiful rejection candle right there. Doesn't mean we're just jumping in shorts. No new headlines waiting right now. Gold also tried to pump and then failed. Did not sweep this recent high. Just staying patient. Guys, let me know what you're trading. What assets are you trading right now? Are you long or short? And have you taken any trades? UAE and Iran have some in-person talks. That's why this momentum. Oh, yeah? Okay. We'll see. Bang, look at that NASDAQ pop right there. I'm being patient, man. I'm not just jumping the gun into shorts just because we get up there, but I will possibly look for shorts. ES has this rejection point right in here. Now, the reason I like this as a rejection point on the S&P 500 is because overnight it was support recently. Now it's trying to work as resistance. Okay, there's NASDAQ trying to get up there. Do you trade pullback / liquidity grabs? In that case, would you take a breakout? So no, definitely no to breakout trades. I'd much rather see a break and retest, right? We always want to try to take a trade on a retest, because if we do try to take it on the breakout and that's not a real breakout, let's say we try a breakout up here, right? And it fails. And all you're doing is being exit liquidity for people. Let's take a look at our equities again. Equities pulling back still. Nothing major there. Cool. Okay, there's the sweep of the highs on NASDAQ. Again, I'm not jumping in shorts right away here. The price action we have been seeing is we close above that pre-market high and then close back below. So I'd want to see how this 5-minute closes. And like I mentioned before, that 15-minute time frame is ripping right now. We still have 8 minutes left, though, on the 15. So I'll be a little patient, considering some shorts. Like I said, though, patience is a virtue in these markets, man. And guess what? You could take this as a starter position, and then you could either get stopped out for a very small loss, or you add to your winner. There's always different ways to manage risks and manage trades. NASDAQ, some clear strength right here. Apple's pumping, Microsoft's pumping, Meta's pumping, Amazon's holding, Alphabet, which is Google, is pumping as well. NVIDIA running into a bit of a wall. I'm not jumping in that. So right there, we wicked. A lot of people will go, okay, there it is. I got to go short now. It could continue. Let the candle close. Let things play out. We have 2 minutes left in this 5-minute. That's plenty of time for it to pop and continue, or start to drop and sell with pressure. If we start to drop and sell with pressure, there you go. You have your trade. If we don't, there you go. You stayed out of a losing trade. ES is flying. NASDAQ is flying. Take a look at the 1 minute. See if we start getting structure back lower again too. And not for nothing, we were waiting for ES to sweep that high as well. We have a bit of divergence there. NASDAQ took out the highs. ES did not. NASDAQ still near those highs. That's why we're not just jumping in any random short here. We're waiting for a reaction. That 15 minutes really trying to convince me for a short-term bull move. Gold also, we were waiting to see if we can move up towards 41.25 on GC futures. That would be 41.05 on XAU USD. Oil struggling around, dancing around. NASDAQ, another clean move. Minute 15 left here. It's trying its best. Look at that, man. Another high on NASDAQ there. We are not taking this. VIX is at a key level. ES is pushing higher too. It really is still giving me an idea of a short. I would just really need to see sellers step in soon. Right now, all we've been seeing off the open is buyers. Gold, same situation. So be patient, wait and see. We're in a low volume area right now. A lot of times, like we saw the D pattern, that's where price will try to start to reverse. But that 15-minute was really trying to move back higher. We do have, what did we say? We got 5.5 minutes left in the 15-minute time frame. Still plenty of time for it to continue. Look how strong this 5-minute is trying to close up here. 1 minute is barely seeing any selling pressure. If this 1 minute can dump right here and bring us towards 28,938, great. If not, we're just going to have to stay patient. There's going to be no trade from this point. We might wait for the ES to sweep that high too and start to reverse as well. There's some selling pressure. Nothing crazy ideal. 15 minutes still very bullish. I wouldn't want to try to short such a bullish candle right here on the 15. That's why it's important to keep an eye on those higher time frames as well. Weighted index. VIX is at that key level. I'd really want to see markets start to turn around somewhere over here. Can always try to take it very lightly in size. I'm looking to see if we can break down here. If we do, we'd look for a short possibly near like 950 and just keep stops near the highs. Zero gamma 73.41 on ES. Hey, good call. 73.41. That's right near that pre-market high. So I might want to be a bit more patient then for that 73.40, 73.41 area to get swept and then reverse and take ES instead of the NASDAQ. So while we're waiting for ES and NASDAQ too to find us a resistance point, if we even find that point, we could look and see if there's any other zones or levels that we may have missed. And I'm really not seeing anything here on the NASDAQ. So I do unfortunately think this short-term buy might continue higher. Nope. What are we doing? NASDAQ, ES. There we go. So at this point, I'm going to wait. I want to see how this 15-minute candle closes. I want to see how the next 15-minute candle opens. It is 9:56 right now, so we're also going to get the hourly candle close at this point too. And look at that hourly. That hourly is trying to hold bullish here. So not for nothing, short-term buys might be a trade. The target level on NASDAQ for those short-term buys, 29,250. 29,250, that's up here near that sweep. So it's okay to have a short-term bias, right? But it's okay to know the overall bias. We do know the overall bias is still bullish. Short-term can somewhat hold though. 3 minutes left on the 5-minute and 15-minute and hourly and 30-minute and 4-hour. Let it close. No reason to rush into anything. Remember, we are still overall bearish on these markets. Equities still holding. Apple took a really big hit here. It's like part of me would want to try a short if we can get back below this price level here, 28,936 on NASDAQ, because that was the trade plan, right? That was our plan off the open. Trade back below that pre-market high. So if we can trigger that, I would go in just one micro, really light in size. And if it starts to move in our favor, we could always add to our short. So that triggered it. Just be patient, let it play out. If it stops us out, it stops us out. We have 2 minutes left in the 15. Hopefully we do. There we go, getting some momentum there. Just stay patient. Stay patient. Gold is stuck in, gold's stuck in such a tough range right now. No trade zone on gold right here. Got to see NASDAQ 158 left on this 5-minute. We got to see some follow through here to the downside. We want to see this volume step in and see sellers bring us lower. If they can't, I'd probably leave stop loss somewhere near over here if you are in this trade around 29.02, because we know that the 15, the 5-minute, they were trying to lean a bit more bullish off of this morning rally. Yep, look at that. Buyers trying to hold it again. And if that is the case, we stop out and we wait for the ES trade to play out. Right now, we are looking for this NASDAQ, the shorts to take control. The 1-minute did give us that close below that level, so I'd like to see that as the break and retest here. Again, though, if it fails, we know that higher time frame, the 15-minute hourly, are trying to hold bullish. We just wait. We wait for the next level. We wait for the next trade opportunity. Nobody's forcing you to take a trade right now. And if you do take a trade, know what your risk is. Be able to take a loss. Nilab mentions it all the time. Be able to take a few paper cuts on your trades. Don't force anything. Be able to take a few entries. Not a fan of how that 1-minute closed there. Just got a headline. Hopefully that headline is something like we're going to bomb the crap out of them. Iran's IRGC threatens Middle East energy infrastructure in event of large-scale attack. Good, let's threaten some energy. 15-minute time frame, has 25 seconds to close. I'd really need it to really break down, man. We're failing to get back below this 885. If we break back below that 885, this 5-minute stays bearish, that'd be great. I'm going to look to hold these shorts to either stop loss or take profit. There we go. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Nice little move there. I'm still unfortunately not entirely convinced that we do reverse and stay to the downside from here off of the hourly, 15 and 30-minute. How's our 30-minute look? Yeah, they were still pretty bullish on those time frames, but we just do know the overall trend is still more bearish. So just be a little patient here. We swept the high. We closed below it. That was the trade setup we were looking for. Here's a bit of a pullback towards that area. My current stop loss on this trade myself, guys, is at 28,996. So if we just start popping here, I'm just stopping out. That's it. I'm stopping out and might look for an ES trade. We know that ES had a lot going on at 73.41. Shout out Jalil, who mentioned the 73.41 on ES for a large zero gamma level. It's an area that options flow is expecting for markets to react to. So you look at that, buyers are trying to step in again here. That's fine. We know how much our risk is. We know how much our reward is. Just staying patient. It either hits stop loss or it hits take profit. This pullback doesn't stop me out until we hit stop loss level. And it's coming pretty close. That's all right. Yep, that's okay. Let it be. Let it be. It's probably going to stop out. Not a big fan. This is not the most A+ of setups. So I might just stop out here and wait for that ES trade. I feel like ES is a lot more of a high probability trade versus this NASDAQ reaction that we're getting. So let's just wait. ES still has 10 points to go there. Look at that. That's crazy, the volatility we're seeing today. There we go. So stopped out of NASDAQ, not interested in NQ right now, not giving us the best of setups. ES coming near that 73.40. That'd be the sweep of the pre-market high that we're looking for. There's NASDAQ. Nice. ES, nice. Take a look at our equities. NVIDIA is slowly chopping. So something I do like about these equities is that we aren't seeing a clean bull trend. We're seeing a chop higher. When we chop higher, a lot of times it means buyers are not as strong as we expect. And as soon as sellers take control, they're able to give us a strong move to the downside. So again, ideally waiting for that ES short position. 15-minute just open too. So it's like if we could get a rejection off these highs, that would be great. Let's see. Rejection off those highs, get us back below like 28,967 on NASDAQ. We could see if any headlines or anything major came out recently. Nothing crazy. Risk Taiwan weighs AI chip exports curbs on China to align with U.S. policy. All right, so just a matter of being patient right now. Can you check EU? Yeah, I got you. EU, what do you want to check? Which asset? Euro USD? There's NASDAQ again rejecting. I do like where the VIX is at. I'd like to see VIX be able to reverse back higher from here. Take a look at our market pullback level, though, 29,250. 29,250 on the NASDAQ. So just be patient. We know that we can get that short-term move to the upside. That 15 was still very bullish. So I do want to be extra patient on just jumping in any shorts at any time right now. Ideally, what would be interesting is to see if we can get back below the open of this 15-minute candle and look for a long position for us to continue. Yeah, Euro USD, I got you, bro. 100%. 100%. Let's see. Euro USD. Let's pull that up on market. Euro USD. There she is. There she is. Slightly bullish on the day trading and swing trading buys. Sticky Eurozone services inflation sustains relatively high real euro yields. Resilient euro area activity keeps ECB from aggressive easing path. Prospect of later Fed easing cycle than appears already largely priced. Okay. Let's take a look at the chart and also our flip watch on that. What could flip it? ECB sees 0.8% growth in 2026, 1.2% in 2027, and 1.5% in 2028. Levels wise, we can take a quick look at our hourly. There we go, man. I'm glad we got out of NASDAQ, right? We got out of NASDAQ, and what did it do? It did end up continuing higher. That's why we respect our stop loss when we take our stop loss. A lot of people try to move their stop, give the trade more room to breathe. That's just silly. That's an excuse to not close out a losing trade. And what you're doing at that point is you're putting more risk on the table. I do think NASDAQ's going to want to try to continue. I'd just really be patient on possible entries here. Trying to hold like this area right now, but that doesn't mean I'm just going to jump in longs. Again, it doesn't look horrible. It looks like we're trying to hold this area for the moment, but we know the overall fundamentals are bearish. We don't want to be jumping in longs knowing that we're running into resistance. That'd be silly. Our job as traders is to not shoot ourselves in the foot. More room to breathe equals more loss. That's it, bro. That's it. 100%. 100%. Look at this. 5-minute trying to struggle. ES trying to struggle. Weighted index trying to move higher but struggling. VIX is trying to reverse back higher too, which is bearish. I'm really just waiting to see sellers take control. Until then, I do think short term we are trying to move higher from here. I would like to see ES also make its way towards that 73.40. So just be patient, see how it wants to play out. If you do want to try to scalp some positions, I'd probably be more interested in longs than shorts at this point on the NASDAQ. You know, a lot of traders are trying to short every little pullback they see, right? We know fundamentals are still bearish, but right now the price action we're seeing is more bullish. And that could just be a pullback, right? This could just be a pullback to our pullback level. 15-minute time frame, still trying to continue here. 1 minute trying to hold. Not bad, ladies and gentlemen. Not bad. Just stay patient. I'm looking for us to continue here. Bro's 100% right on that. Nixon 4 on... Nixon 4, bro. Nixon 5, man. Knicks already lost one, bro. Can't believe it. But you know what? The Knicks aren't even 3. They're 3-1 on the series, but they're 3-1 to the refs. They're not even 3-1 against the Spurs. Refs won that game for them. Again, selling pressure stepping in. If you try buying every little dip, you get stopped out. That is not our goal here. Our goal is to just let markets do their thing. You know, let them come to a more suitable short entry, knowing that the fundamentals are still more bearish. I'd love to see these buyers hold. That'd be great for a short-term pullback, but I'm not going to force any trades. I need to see NVIDIA start to grind higher. Apple's still trying to move lower. Microsoft just tried to tick higher right now. Amazon also trying to move higher. Need to see NVIDIA. If NVIDIA could tick higher, that would give me more confidence for possibly a short-term scalp. But right now, NVIDIA is really weak. I'll let you guys know if I do see anything. If anything, I'd be interested in this little blue zone for longs. We see we haven't broken it yet, so stops would be at the bottom of that zone. But I'm just not a fan of going against the higher time frame trend like that. But we do see that we're trying to hold this area. But all it takes is one big headline. All it takes is one big sell candle. Just be patient, man. Align yourself with the higher time frame always, and you will find more success than you find failure. Come on, Nas, let's get running. I'd love to see NASDAQ just like rip up to the upside right here, bring ES higher with it. You know, head towards that 73.40, head towards that 29.250. That would be about 250 points from where we are right now. So completely against longs, no. Am I a big fan of longs? Also no. 56 seconds left on this 5-minute. Need to see continuation. We're not getting it. 15-minute time frame also closes in 5.5 minutes. Let's see if we have any headlines coming out right now. Nope, nothing else. Still got 10 minutes in this 5-minute. There's a headline. Let's see if that's anything. Head of National Security Committee in Iran's parliament in response to Trump's threats against Iran. He will receive a stronger and more powerful response. Bearish headlines. We don't want to go long. Can't emphasize that enough. We don't want to go long. So let's see, what's gold doing? Did gold end up? Gold did not end up hitting our level, but it did end up selling off. Let's see if gold's giving us a short. Oh, here we go. Gold's looking good. Gold's looking good, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this area right here. XAU, yup, Sabrina, you got it. Yes, sir, you already know, Sabrina. So now what I'd be looking for is a retest of 40.097, 40.97. And on XAU USD, it'd be 40.07, keep doing that, 40.76. So that's really ideally what I'd be looking for right now versus NASDAQ and ES, which are just sort of in the middle of nowhere. This is what we were seeing yesterday. ES did not sweep that high, though. I can't take that short. It's fake that they're having face-to-face. Yeah, I figured. I didn't think so. Tends to be the situation. We are getting some weakness here. Doesn't mean we just jump in shorts. I'd love to see gold pull back. We'll add some alerts so we don't miss it. I'd also want to know what oil is doing right now. Oil's range balance not really giving us much insight. Trying to move higher. There we go, NASDAQ. Can we now get a move? This is why we don't just change bias. Yep, look at that. VIX is also helping confirm the shorts. There we go, man. Now we're getting the dump. I did not get my re-entry yet, unfortunately. I was just trying to be a bit more patient. We have 3:30 left in this 5-minute. Let's see. Could really try to let this 5 close and see where we're at. If we let this 5 close, we close below this zone. See if we create any pullback areas, possibly pull back to this high that we had at 28,936. 15-minute nice rejection there. Can also wait for the 15s to close, guys. That's what we were doing. So letting the higher time frame show us something. Let's see. Want to see gold pull back too? So look, gold made that lower low that we were looking for. Now we want to see gold pull back, create a lower high over here. Gold shorts are definitely looking more prime than the ES and NQ shorts at the moment. Look at that, big wick back up. That's why we're not just jumping the gun on every little move we have. Every move we see. So lower low, lower low, lower. This was a higher high, so we need to pull back and create a lower high. Something like over here. We are getting that. Equities. Equities are showing weakness finally, which is great. I just wouldn't want to try shorts down here. We really wanted to try to get in short somewhere near this 28,950. At least that's what I was looking for. Again, guys, if you saw this big candle and you were like, that's it, that's going to be the reversal, and you took it, good for you. Kudos. That was off the trade plan. Right now, we're just waiting, not forcing anything. Delete some of these levels. Definitely looking for a pullback, though, towards 28,900 on NASDAQ if we could close more bearish. VIX moving bullish. That's amazing to see. It's what we want to see. Gold continuing lower. Not bad there. ES back to VWAP and a support area. So be careful that we get a reaction. Caught GC at 41.06. Good job. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, sir, Eric. Let's go. 40, what did you say? 41.06. Bro, amazing short. Amazing short entry. You're reading markets like a book. Bro, I try, man. I try. That's it, man. That's it. It's all about just when you're reading markets, you're looking at markets, to not have that emotional bias connected to it, right? We knew that we were moving higher, said, okay, maybe short-term longs, but overall, we were still bearish the whole time. Still bearish. Missed entries, that's okay. It is what it is. Markets don't move without us. They just move in general. VIX moving higher. Yeah, we might get a strong dump here. Point of control moving lower. I'd love a pullback towards 28,920 on the next candle. That would be my re-entry on these shorts. 32 seconds left. 15-minute rejecting, 30-minute trying to reject, hourly struggling, which is great, and that 4-hour also struggling. Come on, gold, pull back. Not for nothing on you guys who are already short on gold, but I do want to see a pullback for a lower high to form over here. Dollar level shows an area that reacted 3-4 times and then dumped, and that meaning gold. In that meaning, waiting gold to react and see if the right setup shows on new lower high. Exactly what enters short. Exactly, bro. That's exactly what I was looking for too. So let gold do its thing. Let NASDAQ do its thing. ES do its thing. 15-minute just closed. Yeah, if we get a pullback up here, I'd possibly look for shorts. This would be the short setup I'm looking for. Just a little 3-to-1 right there. VIX moving higher. That's some nice confirmation too. Let's see. Weighted index dumping. USD CAD on steroids right now. Oh, man. Oh, here we go. Gold pulling back. Love to see it. USD CAD. We'll pull that up real quick for you. USD CAD. You down with OPP? Yeah, you know me. All right. Yeah, look at that, man. What a pump there off the charts. Off the charts, off the chizarts. All right. Definitely considering starting a position on this pullback on NASDAQ here. Let's see. Just be patient. Let markets play out. 342. Nvidia with some weakness. Equity still looking weak. Yeah, I'd rather be short than long. It's just a matter of finding a good short entry, which, look at this, just selling the pullbacks right now is going to give you a good short entry. So can we get a pullback? Can we get an entry? Can we get some shorts going? Apple trying to pull back. Microsoft getting ready to dump. Nvidia getting ready to dump. Google is dumping. There we go. NASDAQ might feel that pain right here. VIX moving higher. Get ready for that. Let's see. 308 left in this 5 minute. There's that drop. There's a drop. Bang, bang, boom. Nice. Okay. I'm not in it. I'm not in it. It is what it is. Just got to take it for what it is sometimes. Not chasing it. That's for sure. Look at that. You chase it, and it spikes up 20 points against you. No, thank you. Again, ideally, I was looking for a retest of this 28,900 level myself for NASDAQ shorts. ES running into this 5 minute support right here, inside a 30-minute support. Don't want to short these lows right now. Quick analysis on gold. Yo, I got you. We'll circle back to gold. Gold was the one I was waiting for a pullback for a lower high. Let's see. So gold, we were waiting for a pullback to 40.98 on GC and 40.77 on XAU USD for shorts on gold. Yes, and NASDAQ, unfortunately, trying to continue lower. It looks so good for momentum lower here. 2 minutes left on the 5 minute. I do almost want to take this short with a very tight stop loss, but I don't want to trade dumb where we just grab a short near the low of the sell-off, have a stop loss, get stopped out, and then have it continue in our favor. Let's see. Missed S&P by like 10 pips. Nice. Oh, man. So close, bro. There's that selling, man. I'm telling you, those equities are all looking very bearish right now. NASDAQ's going to feel some pain. Let's see. And any headlines, anything markets telling us? Not at the moment. Very important to keep an eye on that, especially today. We had so many news headlines, so much coming out. Guys, remember us telling you about the whole distraction theory? Well, guess what? All those headlines, all that news came out before PPI and a little bit after PPI, and then it settled down. Again, almost like he didn't want people to be paying attention to how high inflation reports are getting. NASDAQ did not give us the pullback entry. Selling pressure is still valid. Gold is trying its best to pull back. 44 seconds left in this 5 minute. And listen, guys, if we don't get a pullback, we don't get your entry, we don't get your trade, guess what? That's okay. It's going to happen. No trade is a good trade. Cash is a position. Accepting your stop loss is a good trade too. It's all about risk management when it comes to trading and when it comes to the longevity of trading. 20 seconds left in the 5 minute here. Strength right now. We have strength right now to the downside. 30 minute. Oof, look at that. Hourly. Bang. Yeah, that hourly wants to continue. Yeah, again, ideally, I would love a pullback entry. Missed S&P 500 trade by like 10 pips. Should I keep the trade or get out? Well, did you get in the trade? Are you short S&P right now? I'd be interested in some shorts on NASDAQ if we break that previous 5 minute low right here. Keep stops near the recent high. Just look for that general trend to continue. Nvidia pulling back at the moment. Apple new low of day. Microsoft's pulling back. Equity's pulling back a little bit here. Don't jump in just yet. Still waiting for a reaction. I wanted that 28,900. If we don't get it, then we adjust and we come back again. There we go. See that? We're getting a pullback right off that 15-minute order block area on NQ. Need that VIX to start moving higher again. Let's see, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. NVIDIA pulling back. Amazon pulling back. Take a look at our equities. All pulling back at the moment. Point of control trying to move higher on this 5-minute. Let's see. Pulling back, pulling back, pulling back. Not taking it short on this little pullback right here. Not yet. Not yet. Got to see equities. Okay, NVIDIA getting bearish again. Now, if I do want to try shorts with momentum, we would need to break lower on this 5-minute again, and our stop loss would go at the high of this current 5-minute. If we don't get that, then there is no trade to be taken. Not yet, at least. We'll look for a better pullback towards 28,900 if that's the case. Let's see. Yep, look at that. Buyers are trying their best to hold here. I would be patient, see if we could have a bit of a deeper pullback for a better short entry. Let's see if we get a better short entry somewhere. Gold, also waiting for gold. Look at that. I mentioned before, gold was looking a lot more high probability than some of these other assets were. So we're either waiting for NASDAQ to pull back or we're waiting for gold to pull back. If you get in, what would you be looking for to the downside target on ES? Good question. ES downside target would be new low of day. So because we're trending, low of day is usually going to be our target. So we have our recent New York session low of day at 72.83. We have our next low from overnight session at 72.32. So don't be so quick to be jumping in and getting stopped out. We have a long ways to go if selling pressure steps back in these markets. There we go. NASDAQ, give us that pullback, man. Bang. Crazy. Gold pulling back. I'm definitely interested in some gold shorts if we get this pullback towards 40.90 over here. Let's see. We've got a minute 55 left. Gold is pulling back, but I don't know if we should wait for the 30-minute to close. Good call. Good question. 30-minute close is in about 7 minutes. So I'm going to be looking to take this short on gold with a, whoa, nope, not that one, MGC. I'll let you guys know. I'm trying to look for this entry here on gold shorts. Let's see. Give it 1 second. We got minute 17 left here on the 5-minute. 10 seconds left on this 1 minute. Just let that close out for a moment. NASDAQ. Wow, monster pullback on NASDAQ right here. Right near that area we were originally looking for. I did mention, however, that gold was looking a little more prime on that trade. Would really want to see us try to hold below that level, though. We're just pumping away right now. NASDAQ trying to reject. I think we will try lightly on NQ. This was the area we were looking for. And same situation, guys. You take a trade. You take a trade and you know 2 things. Well, you know 3 things. You know your entry, you know your stop loss, and you know your take profit. Period. Gold trying. We'll keep an eye on gold. See if it does want to give us an opportunity here. NASDAQ really trying to make that move on higher. Don't forget ES. We wanted to see ES at 73.40 today, and that did not happen. Equities, NVIDIA started to pump on that last 5-minute. And that's what helped NASDAQ move higher. Be so careful here, ladies and gentlemen. This is a very difficult point on the NASDAQ. We're very range bound today, not really seeing that follow through. Gold was very bullish on that last candle too. Really just a matter of being patient. I want to see if gold can react. Gold was looking much more of a better trade setup. But at this point, with that strong of a pullback, we want to be so careful. 87 on gold sells. Let's see. Well, you're right on about gold pulling back. NASDAQ, unfortunately, looks like it does want to go make its way to new high of day here. So we'll just leave that alone for now. 15 minute. Really want to see that 15 jump on NASDAQ for the last 4 minutes of this 15-minute candle. See us back below this level, which will make it like blue. But we're not getting that just yet. Got to see a stronger dump here. If we get that strong dump, then I would take it short on that close back below that level and put my stop near that recent high that we were just at. There we go. Getting a little bit of something. But remember, what we're seeing lately, other than this big move, is we were seeing dips get bought up. Just be a little careful here. We're getting pretty range bound on our equities. NVIDIA's still trying to hold more bullish, so still a red flag. Amazon weak, Apple weak, Microsoft weak. It's just still looking a bit more overall bullish on our equities. I'd be so careful. I wouldn't be so quick to jump in shorts on NAS, but I also wouldn't be quick to jump in longs either. There we go. There's that drop. So want to give us some follow through or what? There we go. Give us something, man. Give us something to take home. Take me home. There we go. So close. Get red on this 5 minute. We got 3 minutes left on this 5 minute. Want to see that continuation. Big drop on the 1 minute there. Want to see some follow through. NVIDIA trying to reject too. Weighted index trying to reject. These are confluences. VIX still trying to move higher, which would be ideal. But VIX is really struggling to get that continuation too. So a little concerning there. Gold trying to push lower. I almost want to be a bit more extra patient on gold. That thing has a mind of its own, you know. These NASDAQ shorts aren't doing too bad at the moment. This would be the area that we would want to take gold shorts, but we could also wait for this 5 minute to close and take it on the next 5 minute if this 5 minute closes in our favor, right? If we're doing our analysis there, be patient. 2 minutes left on this 5 minute. We know that that's plenty of time for markets to reverse, pump, dump, do whatever they want. We were looking at the 15-minute time frame to continue lower. We're back red on the 15-minute time frame. That's ideal here on the NASDAQ. Nice drop. Won't let ES. Yeah, it's not letting ES hit that 73.40. Look at that. Nice drop there on NQ. Nice little re-entry. Just be patient. Give us some strength, though. Give us some strength. Amazon's really weak. Another drop on Apple right there. Got to see NVIDIA follow through too. I'll show you guys equities for a moment. Apple's dropping. Amazon's dropping. NVIDIA, we got to drop on NVIDIA here. NVIDIA's range bound. It could flip back bullish again. Google was trying to move lower. Got to see these equities bearish. That will help NASDAQ continue the bearish trend. Minute left on this 5 minute, minute left on the 15 minute, and also a minute left on the 30-minute time frame too. I'd really want to see where this 15 closes. If it closes above that blue level I had marked out right here, then I'd probably just look to get out of this for a small scalp. If we close below it, though, I'd have a bit more confidence in these shorts to play out. Let's see. Agreed on GC analysis. Yeah. Gold trying to... I'd love to take a gold trade. That would be great. Come on, Naz. Stop messing around here. Not a fan of this pullback. NVIDIA did just push green on this 5 minute. Almost want to close out the trade here. But just give it. It's got 30 seconds. We know with the volatility we have right now that anything is possible in these markets. My current stop loss on NASDAQ is right at that recent high. And look at this 5 minute trying to flip back green again. If that's the case, we're jumping ship. If it's not, we're holding it. 6 seconds, 5 seconds. NVIDIA struggling. Equity's trying to push back green. I said if we closed a red zone, I'd probably look to close it out for a small win. Let's give it a moment, see if we do have any follow through. If not, then unfortunately, probably just going to close this out for a small loss. Let's see. Gold did close in our favor out of that zone. I will take an entry on gold here. Off this, yeah, off that pullback entry right there. So running 2 trades at the moment. Gold short off of the lower highs, off of this zone. We made lower lows. If it stops out, then sure, our analysis is wrong. It happens. NASDAQ, we were also looking to see if these sellers do want to take control. If our analysis is wrong, we stop out. It happens. Just got to understand that markets will do whatever markets want to do. That's why positioning is so important. Risk management is so important. There we go, Nas. Equities showing some weakness again. There we go. I'm probably going to look to get out of NASDAQ right here. I'm just going to cut NASDAQ out right there. I'm not a fan of this failure to continue. If you have more confidence in it, go for it, hold it. But now gold is giving us a very nice move off of our entry. So we're just going to hold gold. Gold was a much stronger asset to trade, much more clear direction, and a much nicer move to the downside expected. So that's cool. Let's get it. Let's get it. And NASDAQ could continue lower. That's fine. I do not have confidence in it anymore. Stop loss on gold is going to be this recent high. So we're just looking for a trend to continue lower here on gold. Looking for sellers to step in 15-minute time frame, 30-minute time frame. Check those time frames. Not a fan of that 30, that big wick we had to the downside on the 30 there. But I do still like the overall higher lows and lower high situation that we had going on. So I'm just going to be patient, keep my stop loss near this recent high. And if it stops out, it stops out. If it continues, it continues. And listen, guys, you know what could happen? Gold could stop us out, and then NASDAQ could be the one to continue. And that's all right. That's all right. I'm entered with a low lot POS on short gold positions 79. Okay, cool, man. Cool. Agree on the gold analysis. Nice. Let's get it. Let's get it. Yeah, hopefully gold can just continue this trend to the downside. Did we break previous day low already? We are currently trading at previous day low on gold right now. So let's make that white. Mark that out. Know what we're looking at. Oh, man. Equities just took a dump. Equities just took a dump. Full port short NASDAQ. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, now equities did reject that level. We'll see. That's fine, man. Do your thing, equities. That's fine. If that trade plan plays out, great. It is what it is. I'm out of NASDAQ at the moment myself, though. Just holding the gold trade right now. Looking for even just new low of day on gold. We're not looking for a major, massive move. We're just looking for us to trade right back to the bottom of our range. And when we break this low, instead of taking profit there, I could move my stop loss there. So we could try to get more of a winner from this move. NASDAQ wicking up. A lot of wicks, a lot of uncertainty. Headline coming out right now. Live news PPI hits 3.5-year high. Jobless claims highest since February. Let's hike rates. Come on, gold. Let's get that going to the downside here. That would be beautiful. Very nice. Below some buyers that we had at 93 before. Want to see us hold below this 93 area on GC futures, below 73 on XAU USD. NASDAQ struggling. A lot of more weakness on equities than we just had before. So that's great. Realistic take profit for XAU USD. Yo, realistic? You're just looking for new low of day. We're following the trend. We made new low of day here. We made new low of day here. We're just looking to follow that trend. So 40.52. 40.52 on XAU USD. 40.72 on GC. I'd love to see 4,000 get hit today. That would be amazing. So we'll be patient. We'll let the trade play out. We'll manage it properly. We'll move our take profit when we get towards that level to see if we can let our winner run and just be patient. Keep an eye on any headlines that come out and let markets do their thing. Guys, let me know what you're trading, how you're trading, what you're doing, and how you're doing it. Guys, it is 10:35. Usually we wrap up these market in the morning episodes at 10:30, but seeing that we are in a trade, we'll let it play out. We'll do our thing. We'll hang out for another couple minutes or so and see how gold plays out. Might try to run towards stop loss. We see that it's definitely struggling to find continuation lower, but on the other hand, it was struggling to move on higher. So don't let a little pullback stop you out. That's why when we enter a trade, we have to know where our stop loss is and have to know where our take profit is. So when we're in the trade, every little move doesn't shake us. A lot of buying pressure on this current 5-minute. I would love to see that flip. If it flips, great. If not, then unfortunately, I do believe we might go ahead towards that stop area. Yeah, pretty range bound here. NASDAQ also moved on higher. Glad we got out of NASDAQ when and where we did. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you run that like button up if you haven't already. Absolutely killer episode of Market in the Morning today. This was our first full episode of no guests, just me hosting with you guys. Absolutely phenomenal episode. We broke things down with market. I explained to you guys how to use market to gain your bias, have some strength in your conviction, have that fundamental analysis. We also went over the headlines as they came out. We went over PPI as it came out. Just overall, really good job, guys. Really good work. Yeah, look at that. Gold is moving into our red zone, right? So that's areas where we're bearish. We're red on the trade. Glad we got out of NASDAQ. That's for sure. Talk about securing profits. Gold, we will only get out if it hits our stop loss. Stop loss is at that 40.84 on XAU USD, 41.05 on GC. So just because we're pulling back doesn't mean I'm bullish now. Oh yeah, keep an eye on the dollar. Good call on that. Where's our dollar right now? DXY, DMX. Ooh, dollar moving higher. Good, great. Can the dollar keep moving higher from here? My issue with the dollar is it is at a resistance point, but it is trying to storm higher. That should help gold move lower. Yes, Samuel. I know you asked that yesterday. I was hoping the lab would be able to join us today. He was not able to join us, so unfortunately, I don't know about the giveaway right now. Definitely join tomorrow. I'll see if Nalab is able to join. If not, he will be back on Monday and Tuesday's Market in the Morning stream. But killer, guys. Look at that. See that pullback? Hopefully it didn't stop anybody out. We're right back to where we were 5 minutes ago. Dollar pumping. Now, if we move lower and we break that recent 5-minute low, we could then move our stop loss even lower. For right now, just wait. Seeing how inconsistent the price action has been almost does make me want to stop out for a small profit here, but seeing the momentum we have had on the daily time frame on gold, I don't want to just get out for the sake of getting out. If we have another big bearish day like this on gold where it gives 140 points to the downside, 140 points to the downside from where we are right now brings us near that 4,000 mark that I'm looking for. So will history be made today on gold? Will we go back below 4,000 for the first time since October? Or are we going to consolidate and try to move back higher? There we go again. These buyers, man, are not giving it up. Look at that pump right there. Not stopped out yet. We only stop out if it hits our stop loss. And if it hits our stop loss, that's fine. We're managing our trade. ES still trying to chop its way towards 73.40. 52 seconds left on the 5-minute here. We do have some buyers at the highs. If we can reverse off of here, these are trapped buyers, and we should have a much cleaner way lower. All right, ladies and gentlemen, be patient. 38 seconds left. NASDAQ had a quick pop. It would have stopped people out and then pushed right back lower again. Last month, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern was the best time to trade X. Yeah, I remember that. Even the ES and NQ, between those time frames, that's when we were getting the trend each time. 15-minute time frame, 30-minute time frame. Just check those time frames. Not a fan of that 30. Remember we were talking about the 30 before. Almost does make me want to cut this trade a little sooner than where that stop loss was originally placed, just to protect capital. You know, cut losses short, let winners run. It does look like we're going to try to spike up here on gold. Would much rather see a stronger bear move. Unfortunately, the dollar's at an area to reject. I do think I want to kill this gold trade pretty soon, unfortunately. And hey, and listen, it happens. It happens. It's going to happen. That's why risk management is so important, so that when you can take a loss, you're able to get right back into the swing of things. You're able to jump right back into the next trade setup you see. Like NASDAQ, I'm not shorting NASDAQ here. No way. We've been way too choppy. If anything, we hold gold till it either hits stop loss or moves back into our favor. But right now, not a big fan. Not a big fan. Look at that. It's moving up. Moving up, moving up. 105 is stop loss on GC futures. It's probably going to hit. 4 minutes left in this 5-minute. Would love to see us reverse back lower, but off the 30-minute time frame, it's definitely not too convincing. Hourly did look like we're trying to continue and reject lower, so we could still give it that chance. Keep stop loss near those highs, but other than that, we just want to be patient, let gold do its thing. We know the dollar was also trying to reject for a moment, but let's see. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to be wrapping up our market in the morning show right now. Looks like gold is going to try to hit stop loss. Price action today was extremely choppy, so it was great that we were able to manage our trades, manage our wins, manage our losses, and not force anything in between. So guys, make sure you join me back here tomorrow. We're doing market in the morning live every day from 8:20 to 10:30. As you guys see, we might even run a little bit later if trade setups are playing out or not playing out, so we can manage trades properly. But yeah, here goes gold about to hit that stop loss. It's all right, guys. We're going to be right back in the swing of things tomorrow. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Trade properly, risk properly, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Have a great day. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Repost if you're here on Twitter, and hopefully maybe gold does play out. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see you all tomorrow.